Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life series number 17, day 24. The sketch was created by Vicky. She is a friend and fellow design team member over at Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog. This is a lovely sketch with three 3x4 photos and some embellishments, title, and journaling. I really like how that sketch looks. And I am also working on the 52 Favorite Everyday Photos Hop by Miranda Weber. And I actually have 4 photos sitting here. These are photos taken of me at the hospital. I had a procedure in August of 2016, and I just took some random photos. This 4th photo, I might try to get that in here. We'll see, but I don't. The goal is not to, so we'll see how that goes. The product I have on my desk is going to look a little bit odd to you. It is a summer kit, but this is my counterfeit kit for the month of March, and I have 3 full sheets of patterned paper, plus a partial sheet for matting my photos, some titles, some flowers, some hearts, some letters. We'll see what I use in this little pile. I know it's kind of odd to be looking at a summer type kit, pattern papers and stuff, but I just thought I would try to use up some of this, and this will help me do that. I also have some random little pieces from a film strip that I also thought I might use as layering pieces in here. So I'm going to pause. We're going to get started, and I will be right back. So I ended up using that 4th photo after all. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this piece of pattern paper here, and I'm going to cut 2 borders with it. They're approximately 1/2 inch wide, give or take, and that's all of that piece that I will be using. This piece, I am going to cut the branding strip off of it, and then I'm going to cut roughly 5 inches of it. I think that's what I end up cutting is 5 inches, and that is going to go on the bottom half of this wood grain. I also have that piece for matting purposes, but let's start building this background first. I'm just going to glue down that 5 by 12 inch piece of patterned paper, and then I'm going to glue one of the borders that I just cut with the other patterned paper above it, and then another of those borders is actually going to go at the very top of this pattern paper, and that kind of closes in a little bit where the title and the single photo on the sketch are supposed to go. So what I do end up doing is matting the photos, but first I'm going to cut this 4 by 3 photo down into 3 by 3, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this photo down into 3 by 3 as well, and I'm going to end up using it. Like I said, I will be matting it with that spare piece of cardstock I have there. I think I use up almost all of this. I'm trying to decide where I want to cut from first. I'm not planning on saving the branding strips here, so that's why I cut it in half, cutting down 2 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 pieces, and then I'll cut 2 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 pieces so that I have mats for the 2 larger photos. And pretty much that is almost all of that paper, which kind of makes me happy. That means I used a full sheet of paper minus some little tiny scraps. I also have this other border here that I need to get down, and then I'm going to go ahead and get these photos matted very quickly. I'm not real sure why I left this on camera. You all know how to mat photos, but I just went ahead and did it right here on camera, so let's get it done. These 2 photos I'm actually going to put on the bottom. The 2 3 by 3s will go over in the top right, just like on the sketch. That's pretty much my only real deviation from this sketch. I even get the journaling where she has it on the sketch, which sometimes I move that around to suit my needs, and I didn't need to do that this time, so that kind of makes me happy. I'm going to layer the photo with all of the words on it on top of the one of my arm. And the reason that I am doing that is so that you can still read it. It just gives you the information that we have in about my situation, what their goals are, etc., to get me out of the hospital. I'm pretty sure I only spent one night after this procedure and then went home to recuperate, which made me extremely happy because I cannot sleep in a hospital, especially not when they have me shot up full of Toradol, which is what they were giving me through my IV. Opioid drugs do not make me sleepy, they make me wired. So that's a nice little piece of trivia for you. So I believe I'm calling this relax and let the healing, or let yourself heal. Relax and let yourself heal. Good grief, forgot what I titled it already. That's craziness. I know I'm not getting these little puffy letters on here straight. I will use a ruler off camera when I use some wet glue to glue them down. These type of puffy stickers will not stay, so I always add just a little bit of glue to make sure that they stay on my layout. Otherwise, you find them at the bottom of your page protector a year or so down the road, and I find that annoying. I didn't have any more R's, so I'm going to cut a B down to make an R. It's not quite correct, but it's good enough, and I feel like it just suits my purpose a little bit. I am kind of trying to alternate the colors on here a little bit because, of course, these letters are multicolored. I do believe that these letters came from the Cocoa Vanilla These Days collection, and I've used up almost all of that collection, and so it's nice to be able to use up some more of the letters, although these letters, the little letters, are in my little box of smaller letters, not with the collection. Normally I keep letters with the collection, but I think because I had used up most of the papers and things, I went ahead and put them in with my other letters. So I'm tucking in those little windows from the film strip that I used on a previous layout this month, just behind the photos. Just adds a little bit more color and interest. I'm going to add a couple of hearts to the top right photo and to the bottom left photo, just to give a little bit more color there. And I'm not going to end up using any of the freckled fawn hearts. They're a little bit big. I'm going to cut out 2 of these labels for journaling. I like the yellow, and although there's quite a bit of yellow on this layout already, these are going to go over on the blue side of that wood grain, so I feel like they will stand out very well. The next thing that I'm going to do after I cut out these letters is I'm going to dump out that pack of ephemera. Now this ephemera and the floral piece and the piece of paper that I used as borders came from a very old hip kit, and when this kit shipped, they didn't have the ephemera on hand, but they didn't want to keep us waiting, so they gave us the digital files for the ephemera, which means I used my Cameo to print and cut. Now, it had a couple of feathers in the little thing of ephemera, so I'm putting those on my layout behind my journaling labels, mostly because I find feathers kind of difficult to use. I don't always find a good use for them, and I thought they made a great base for layering up these flowers. And I'm just kind of tucking and playing around with the different shapes of flowers. I don't want them to disappear on this pattern paper, so I'm trying to get some of the bolder colors and getting those down there. I will go ahead and pop up everything with foam adhesive, and I'm going to add some more leafy bits as well, just to make this little cluster on the lower right kind of rounded out. I am tucking in various pieces, and I'm happy with the way it looks. All right, I got this layout completely finished. Everything is glued down. I did use some foam adhesive under the largest part of the title and under a lot of the flowers. I did also add a third label for journaling because I ran out of room, so I just added a third one, and some splatters with the Delusions White Linen, and Distress Oxide Cracked Pistachio. I am happy with how this turned out, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will try to do your own version of this lovely sketch from Miss Vicky. Also, I want to thank you for coming to my channel. There are 2 playlists down below, one for 30 days of sketches and one for the everyday photos hops. So make sure you check those out. There's probably several of us who are combining today's hops, so you will not have as many videos to watch, but you will be greatly inspired by all of the wonderful creators who are on both lists. Many of these ladies are my personal friends, and I love them all, and they are all extremely creative, and would love it if you would give them some likes and some subscriptions as well. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.